Johanna. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another junk journal with me or journal with me episode. This is another Christmas one. There's only going to be one more Christmas journaling video after this, or it may just be a flip through depending. After that I'll be getting back to my normal junk journal with me. The first thing I did was just cut my photos down. I printed them like two to a page or two to like a 4x6 photo paper. So I just cut them into separate photos, and the first photo that I'm working with is this one of the ornaments we chose this year for our Christmas tree. So we all just choose one each, although this year my husband chose one for each of us just to avoid all of us having to go into the shops. But I did leave a little place for this to go earlier on in the journal, so I left a little pocket for that photo to slip in behind the Christmas tree page. So now I'm working on the next page in the book, and the first thing I'm journaling about is just a little Griffin update, which is our elf on the shelf. And I forgot to take photos of the elf mostly throughout the week. I only had like a few photos that I took, so I just drew a couple of the different places that he was throughout the week and just sort of made like this little postcard looking thing to add to the journal, just so that it still kept a record of the different places that he was in the house. I attached that onto the page, and then I'm going to put the one photo that I do have that I want to include of him underneath that as like a little hidden piece. Just added a little bit of washi tape around as well, just to add that pop of colour and help everything stick down really well. And then on the page beside it, I'm just going to choose a little pattern paper to cover over that white space. So I'm looking through this little paper pad, that's the Hey Santa paper pad by Crate Paper, and I just picked this pretty green paper to use over the top of that white page. So I just glued that straight down over the page, and then I added a little bit of washi tape down the middle just to make sure it was stuck really well and wasn't gonna get folded or peel up in the middle. And then the next few things that I have the receipt from the ornaments that we got, so I'm going to put that on this page. And I also just have a note from a friend of mine, something that came in the mail, and I'm going to put both of these on the same page. So I'm just working out where I want them to sit, and then I'm just stapling them straight down onto the page, and that's all I'm going to do for that page, so keeping it really, really simple. The next pages already have patterns on both sides, so I don't have to find anything to fill in any white space. I'm just pulling out these photos from some gingerbread that we made. We made these from scratch because this year we couldn't find any gingerbread house kits in the stores, so I'm not sure if that's because of coronavirus. But anyway, we decided to make our own gingerbread from scratch. My sister and my niece came over and we did it together, and it took us all day to make the gingerbread and then to build the houses and then to decorate everything. But yeah, I just added the photos to the page, a printable linen from my shop, and another little scrap of paper from an old Frankie diary. And then moving on to the following page, I'm going to cover over that white page with some of this wrapping paper. This is wrapping paper I saved from last year. Just some really pretty wrapping paper. I love it. It feels just really cozy and warm, so that's why I saved that wrapping paper, because I'm going to use all of it up. I just glued that straight down over the page, and that's just going to fill in the white space and give me like a backdrop to work on. This other little piece of wrapping paper came from some books that were wrapped up from my son and my daughter's preschool. So they gave each of the kids at the school a little storybook wrapped up. So I'm just keeping a little piece of that wrapping paper, and I'm just going to glue that straight down on top of that red paper on the left side. I also have here a little drawing that my son did at school, and it's really cute. It's of a Christmas tree, and so I wanted to add that in here as well. I'm just trying to work out how to add it because it's too long to glue straight down onto the page without losing some of the picture. So I wanted to fold it up and just have it like a little fold out piece on the page. So staple it along the bottom and then you can fold it up and down. And then on the other side I just have a photo of my son that I'm going to be working with, my eldest boy. But before I get to that, I've realised I've left out a photo that came from the same day that we did the gingerbread. So I want to add that to the same layout because those go together and I'm trying to keep it fairly chronological. So I'm just working out how to do that. And I just ended up using a little bit of this index card and creating like a little tuck pocket along the bottom of the page. So to do that, I just trimmed down a little piece and then I just took my stapler, added a couple of staples along that just so that it's well attached to the page, and then the photo can just slip in behind there. Now going back to the photo of my eldest son, this is just a picture of him in my bed reading a book. He just looked really cute and cozy with his teddy and his book, so I just want to save that little memory. And I'm just going to back that photo to, it's the same wrapping paper piece that I used on the left side of the page, that little bit from the preschool, but I'm using the back side of it as like a border to that photo to help it lift off that page. And then I'm also taking the same index card scrap, what's left over from what I just did on the previous page, and I just put that along the bottom of the photo to give me a little bit of journaling space. And this is just a little cut apart like embellishment piece that came from the Hey Santa collection, and I'm just gluing that down the side of the photo just to add a little bit more decoration, sort of help frame that photo. And then I went back and I decided to trim this photo down, the one that I just added to the page. I just didn't want it to, I felt like it was a bit distracting, so I just trimmed it down a little bit. And then I'm just finishing things up at this point, just adding little bits and pieces to make everything come together. I'll be adding my journaling on all the places that I left room to write. I decided to stick one of my linen printables on top of this page, just sort of overlapping the elf behind that little griffin postcard. And just a side note, I do have a 50% off sale at the moment in my Etsy shop, so all of my digital printables, so linens, tutorials, illustrated, everything in there that's printable or digital is 50% off. That's only until Christmas, and here in Australia we're already at Christmas Eve, so it's only got a few hours left to go. But if you're quick, you can catch a 50% off sale if you are interested in any of my digital downloads. The last thing that I'm doing here is just looking through these sheets. So some of these 12 by 12 sheets are some printables from my shop, and then some of them are from the Hey Santa collection. So I just picking out a few that I thought would work well. This little ticket piece that I'm cutting out has some gingerbread on it. This is a printable from my shop, and I'm just adding that to the page all about the gingerbread. I also added a black illustrated piece on the previous page, which you may have seen, and I just put that behind that griffin postcard that I was talking about, and that just helped fill in that space. And now I'm just cutting out a few of my favorite little pieces from the Hey Santa collection. So there's some really, really cute ones that I wanted to include. I'm just seeing what fits though. So I really love that little swan peace, love, joy piece, and I think I'm going to tuck that in behind the drawing my son did. And then on the opposite side, that little piece with the mouse that says not a creature was stirring, I think is really cute, so I'm going to glue that along the bottom of the page there as well. Just added a little bit of twine through that tag just to make it feel more textured, and just takes it to another level adding that twine, and then just adding a little bit of washi tape as well around the page. So now I'm going to attach that black and white piece I was talking about inside the postcard. I did want to have a little bit of journaling space though on this page, so I'm also going back to my printables, and I'm just going to cut out this little label piece that I can attach to this page, and that's going to give me some writing space as well. So I've still got all those decorative elements that I think work together really well, but I've still created a little space for me to write what I want to write about those photos or for that journaling. And now you can see me just filling in the rest of my journaling. So anywhere that I've left spaces to do so, I typically just like to add a little bit of writing on each page. So it doesn't have to be much. It can just be like a sentence or two, just enough to say what the photos are or what happened, and just to give a little bit of background info to what each page is about. I decided to journal on the back side of the drawing my son did as well, just to write a little bit about the wrapping paper and everything, so that sort of pulls that whole page together. And yeah, so that is pretty much the finished process today. Worked across a couple of pages. I think I will fill this journal up now. I think by the time I get all my Christmas and Boxing Day photos in here, it will probably be full or almost full, so that's good. I don't think any of the pages are going to go to waste. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this process today. I hope you're all having a Merry Christmas. I hope you guys can enjoy the next couple of days to the best of your ability, no matter where you are or what's happening in your world right now. But I hope you have a lovely Christmas regardless, and I will see you very soon with my next video. Bye.